And Socrates was very much thought of as a kind of destabilising influence then. In particular, destabilising accepted and agreed norms and values and the ways in which the Athenian culture thought about particular moral standards. So that's one general way in which Socrates may well have acquired this kind of reputation. But there's a specific problem with Socrates as well, in that he was very much known to have associated with certain individuals. Right? So, for example, Critias or Alcibiades, and these turn up in Plato's dialogues as characters. So Plato's absolutely aware of this and writes it into the dialogues that he presents. And the problem is, with these two characters and others, that the period in between when Socrates was working and Plato wrote his dialogues, is a period where these two, in particular, and others like them, were evidently involved in all of the catastrophic events that happened in Athens at the end of the 5th century BC. So just to recap, Athens is fighting a war with Sparta on and off for much of the period from like the 430s onwards, and it ends with defeat for Athens. And in 404, for example, as there had been a little earlier, there was an oligarchic coup, and these 30 tyrants were installed. Took over, there was no democracy for a period, and these people, including Critias, were installed as tyrannical rulers of Athens. So when the democracy restored afterwards, a year or so afterwards, obviously there was a backlash against these kinds of people. Socrates was very much thought to have associated with them, and he did indeed associate with them. Critias is actually related to Plato. I mean, they're blood relatives. So it's not surprising then that by 399 Socrates was put on trial as it were, part of this general malaise that the Athenians thought had affected their city. And because of his close association with these people and what were perceived as their anti-democratic tendencies, it's not a surprise then that a kind of guilt by association arose. And he may well have been thought of as it were, the intellectual father of these kinds of people and their anti-democratic tendencies.